Hallelujah. Praise Yah. God, we thank you this morning. God, we thank you this morning for your mercy, for your love and kindness. Thank you for being good to us. God, we ask you this morning or this afternoon, rather, that you would give us wisdom and understanding, that you will open our understanding to your word, that you would bless us. God, we ask you for a blessing for us to be able to grow in our trust, that you would give us the ability to comprehend what we hear and help us to pay attention to it and walk in and begin to walk out what your word says, Yah. Help us to grow in our trust, for your word says that trust comes by hearing, and hearing by your word. And we want to trust you, we want to please you, we want to have a lifestyle pleasing you, we want to know who you are. We ask you, Father, that you would strip us of all religion, all the things that's not like you. Help us get rid of man-made doctrines out of our lives, Yah, and help us renew our mind. And retrain our thought process and begin to walk according to your word, and not man-made doctrine, not man-made tradition, but your word. Help us to walk by our trust in you, to believe in you, to surrender ourselves to you, to deny our own self-interest in you. Help us to learn Torah, Yah. Help us to learn what you desire for us to do. Teach us how to please you. We need you. We cannot make it without you. We acknowledge that we can't make it without you. You are the strength. You are the strength of our life. The psalm said that you are our light and our salvation. Whom shall we fear? You are the strength of our life. Whom shall we be afraid? Nobody. Because we have you as our protector, as our healer, as our Elohim, as our Father. And we thank you, God. And we glorify you in Yeshua's name. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. So today we're gonna deal with the issues. We want to talk about. We want to try to live a life to please Yah, not just to please our own selves. And many of us as believers, I'm afraid that we really don't know how to please Yah. We've been raised on tradition, man-made doctrine, how we feel, instead of really hearing what the word says. So today we're going to go through a few scriptures. We're going to read, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to try to get into it so that Yah can help us. So our first scripture that we're going to deal with is going to be 1 Thessalonians. And we're going to deal with chapter 4. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, and we're also going to deal with Romans chapter 8, and also Ephesians 2. But 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, beginning at verse 1, says, Therefore, brothers, just as you learned from us how you had lived, just as you learned from us how you had to live in order to please Yah, and just as you are living this way now, we ask you, indeed united with the Messiah Yeshua, we urge you to keep doing so more and more. For you know what instructions we gave you on the authority of the Messiah Yeshua. And what Yah wants is that you be holy, that you keep away from sexual immorality, that each of you know how to manage his own sexual impulses in a holy and honorable way, without giving in to lustful desires, like the pagans who don't know Yah. No one should wrong his brother in this manner or take advantage of him, because the Messiah punishes all who do such things, as we have explained to you before at length. For Yah did not call us to live an unclean life, but a holy one. Therefore, who rejects his teaching is rejected not a man, but Yah. Indeed, the one who gives you the Ruach HaKodesh, which is he. So let's push pause right there. Apostle Paul is talking to the men of Thessalonica about living a more holy and righteous life. He says this. He says, just as you have learned from us and how you had to live in order to please Yah, and just as you are living this way now, we ask you, indeed, united with the Messiah, we urge you to keep doing so more and more, just as you have learned. Paul is talking to the Thessalonians about what he's taught them, or what they've been taught, and what they've learned from Torah. how to please Yah, how to live for Yah. And he's urging them to do it more and more. Work harder, do better, do more. Continue to seek him. Similar to saying, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Seek him in all of his righteousness. So the things uniquely added. Do this because, do this. For you know the instructions we gave you on the authority of the Messiah Yeshua. The instructions. What are the instructions? Y'all's teachings. He's understanding his word. It's his instructions. And I'm sure that at this time they would talk about the condition of man. Man's sinful nature. Man being alienated from the Most High. Also talking to them about how because of disobedience, how it moves us from Yah. Talks about the curse of the law, or the curse of the Torah. What is the curse of the Torah? Death. The curse of the law and the wages of sin are the same thing. It's death. And how, because of the Messiah's blood, how he had given his life, how he had sacrificed his own self for mankind, they are redeemed now from that curse. And now they can live a life pleasing to Yah because of the Messiah Yeshua. And because of that, now live right. It says live right. It says what Yah wants is that you be holy. That you be set apart. And that you keep away from sexual immorality. That each of you know how to manage his own sexual impulses in a holy and honorable way. Keep away from sexual immorality. And learn how to manage your own sexual impulses in a holy and honorable way. What is sexual immorality? Doing things such as fornication, maybe? Pornography. In today's time, pornography. Maybe masturbation. Adultery, maybe homosexuality. Keep away from these things. Live a holy life. Have self-discipline. First of all, don't put yourself in a situation that will cause you to sin against Yah. Don't put yourself in a situation that will cause you to fall down, that will cause you to go astray. So he says this, that each of you know how to manage your sexual impulses in a holy and honorable manner without giving into lustful desires like the pagans do who don't know Yah. Don't give into those desires like the pagans do. Listen, the pagans don't know the Most High. So of course, they're going to do things that's not pleasing because they don't even know him. And to know him means that they don't have a relationship with him. They have no relationship. They have no inheritance. They don't know Yah. And we are instructed not to live as they live. But we are instructed to live set apart, to live right, to live holy, to live a life pleasing to the Most High. He says in verse 7, for Yah did not call us to live an unclean life, but a holy one. So therefore, whoever rejects this teaching is rejecting not a man, but Yah. Indeed, the one who gives you the Ruach HaKodesh, which is his. So when you don't listen to the teachings that you're being taught by your leaders, whether you want to call yourself a moray, or whether you want to call yourself a pastor, or whatever, you're not rejecting the man, but you are rejecting the Most High. You are rejecting the teachings of the Most High, who gives you the Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach HaKodesh, according to Jeremiah 31:31, and also according to Hebrews, was given. Yah says, I'm going to make a renewed covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah in those days. And this is the covenant I'm going to give to Israel. To the house of Israel, said that I will put my Torah, my law, on their minds and on their heart. How is this done? The Ruach HaKodesh. It's on the inside of you. causing you to come into relationship with the Most High. The Ruach HaKodesh is what gives you the ability to know God. And to know Him not from the standpoint of knowing His name, not from the standpoint of being aware of Him, but to know Him from the standpoint of to have a relationship with Him. Listen, a lot of people say that they have a relationship with God. They say, I'm saved. But it's not about what you say. It's about what you're doing. Well, I believe in the Messiah. I believe in Yeshua. Well, you believe in Him. The word says that demons believe in Him and tremble. Do you have a block in your mind to think that the adversary don't believe in the Most High? Of course the adversary believes in the Most High. He rebelled against Him. They rebelled against the Most High. So they believe in Him. So it's more than you believing in Him. They believe and they shudder. You have to live a life showing you believe in Him. You can't live a life contrary to what you say. I'm not saying you don't mess up. I'm not saying that at times that we don't sin on purpose, because we do. But I'm saying that when you continue to live a life that you know you should live, to live a life contrary to the teachings of the Most High is rejecting His teachings. And Yah did not call you to live an unclean life. He didn't call you to live an unclean life. He did not call you to live outside of His word. No. That's not what He called you to do. He said he called you to live a holy life, set apart, to not be like those who are unholy, to not be like those who reject Him, to not be like the pagans, the ones who don't have regard for Him, the ones who serve other gods, the ones who don't care. You don't live like them. You know what's amazing to me is this. I'm going to go to Romans 8, but I'm not giving hate speech when I say what I'm going to say. But if you close buddies with a homosexual, and y'all are all the way together, and you say, well, that's my friend, but you're that friend, there's something wrong with that picture. Something should rub off on somebody. And the homosexual's lifestyle should not rub off on you. But your lifestyle should make them want to change. But if they remain comfortable in that lifestyle, and you remain comfortable in being around them with that lifestyle, there's something wrong with that picture. That's an unclean lifestyle. That's a lifestyle that Yah did not call you to live. If you hang around people who you know are known fornicators, that's what they do. Men and women. And in today's time, we have what they call, they have threesomes. And it's casual. It's open. Nobody's ashamed now for two women to be with one man now. They like that. Or two men in our time, back when I was growing up, we called it running the train. When two men doing something with one female. And today's time, that seems to be cool with a lot of people. And the thing that's so sad is that the majority of the people who are doing those things say they belong to the Most High, but have no self-control over their own sexual impulses. No, there's something wrong with that picture. The Most High did not call us to live an unclean life. He called us to live a clean life. So we have to develop a pattern to learn how to please the Most High. And how do we do that? We do that through getting His word. taking heed to his teachings and obeying them. We do that through praying, seeking his face, crying out to him, and living out what he says. And you got to be bold to live this life. You got to have the fortitude to be able to stand in opposition regardless of who leaves you, who rejects you, who pushes you away. You got to be strong in the Most High. Because if you're not, then we got trouble going on. Romans 8, beginning at verse 1, says this: Therefore there is no longer any condemnation awaiting those who are in union with the Messiah, Yeshua. The Romans 8 is just a continuation from Romans 7. But we're going to start at 8 and 1. There's no condemnation. There is no condemnation awaiting those who are lined up, who are in one with the Messiah, because now they receive him by faith. They've turned from their sins, and now they acknowledge him, and then they are able to freely experience God's grace. So even if they do mess up at times, they can turn and begin to walk out the process, begin to walk a lifestyle pleasing to the Most High. It says why? Because the Torah of the Spirit, which produces this life in union with the Messiah Yeshua, has set me free from the law of sin and death. The Torah of the Spirit, which produces this life in union with the Messiah Yeshua, has set me free from the law of sin and death. For what the Torah could not do by itself, because it lacked the power to make the old nature cooperate, Yah did by sending his own Son as a human being with a nature like our own sinful one, but without sin. Why did he do this? Yah did this in order to deal with sin. And in doing so, he executed punishment against sin in human nature. So that the just requirement of the Torah might be fulfilled in us who do not run our lives according to what the old nature wants, but according to what the Spirit wants. So Yah sent his Son to fulfill the righteous requirements of the Torah. Right? And what the Torah could not do by itself. Because it lacked the power to make the old nature cooperate. Listen, Yah gave them Torah, and first he gave them stone tablets. The 10 words that he gave in the wilderness. And from those 10 words, he gave regulations and rulings, 603 of those, which makes a total of 613 commands that he gave him, his justices, his mishpatim. And the people had the responsibility of taking heed to those words and applying it and putting it upon their own hearts and living it out. The Torah couldn't do it on their own, and the people didn't do it. And because of that, they were put out of the land. Because of their lack of trust, they did not get into the promised land. And they were not even able to obtain the gold because the Torah, the word of Yah, was not put into their hearts. So Yah, in order to deal with the sin, Yah did this in order to deal with sin. And in so doing, he executed punishment against sin and human nature, so that the just requirements of the Torah might be fulfilled in us who do not run our lives according to what the old nature wants, but according to what the Spirit wants. So Yah gave his Son to die on our behalf. and to atone for our sins. And then he gives us his Torah on our mind, on our hearts. We're going to read it in a minute in Hebrews 8, and 1 to 13, and also 1 through 12, and also Jeremiah 31:31. And so he put his word, his Torah on our hearts. So now we do not have to live our lives according to what the old nature wants. But now we can live our lives according to what the Spirit wants. Amen? Verse 5 says this, for those who identify with their old nature set their minds on the things of the old nature. But those who identify with the Spirit set their minds on the things of the Spirit. Having one's mind controlled by the old nature is death. But having one's mind controlled by the Spirit is life and shalom. For those who identify with their old natures set their minds on the old nature. Your old nature is what you have before you came into relationship. So if you are in the Messiah, you cannot continue to have that same mind. You have to remove yourself from certain surroundings, even from certain people groups. And I'm not meaning races, other races. I'm meaning people who have sinful actions, do sinful things, do things that's not right from God's perspective. You can't continue to get high. You ever heard of the old saying, you hang around a dog, you get fleas? You know, fleas frequent places where dogs eat at, where they rest at, and where they play at. And if you don't want to have fleas, then you can't go to those areas those dogs go to. Now you got to ask yourself, are you living the lifestyle of a dog? A dog represents an unclean animal. Are you living in places that's frequent with having fleas? Because if you keep going to those places, you're going to eventually get fleas. If you come around a dog and he got fleas, you're going to have fleas on you. Even if you have on a flea collar. Even if the area is treated the way you are. If the dog is not cleaned off, no matter how many flea collars they have on them, no matter how clean the area is, if the dog is not clean and made free of the fleas, then guess what? They come right back. So you cannot continue to have the old nature, the old mindset that you had before the Messiah. Your mind has to change. You have to begin to think different on purpose. And you cannot think different on your own. You're only able to think different by God's word because your mind, your thinking is hostile toward God anyway. Because your mind, your thinking is your own nature and it only wants what it wants. You don't want what the Most High wants. You have to allow your mind to be controlled by the Spirit, by the Ruach of the Most High. Because the Ruach, HaKodesh, the Spirit of the Most High, is going to put what y'all wants on your mind. And if you surrender yourself, deny your own self-interest, and walk in obedience to what the Spirit wants, then you can have shalom. Then you can have life. But if you continue to walk according to what you want, your own nature, you won't have life. But you only produce death. Because you walk in sin. How did death come into the world? Death came into the world because of sin. And intentional sin. And intentional sin that Adam and Eve made caused humankind after them to have a sinful nature. So now, we're just born in sin.
sin. So we sin when we don't know we sin. But we also sin when we do know we sin. But Yah, through his Son, can change your nature. And now you no longer have to walk in intentional sin, and he'll continue to clean you up from the ignorant sin by giving you understanding. Then you have the ability to obey him with the help of the Ruach HaKodesh. And you can have shalom if you allow your mind to be controlled by Yah's Spirit. Verse 7 says, for the mind controlled by the old nature is hostile toward Yah, because it does not submit itself to Yah's Torah. Indeed, it cannot. Thus, those who identify with their old nature cannot please Yah. That's a lot right there. Because how do you please the Most High? Through your trust. Your carnal mindset will cause you to walk outside of your trust. Your carnal mindset will cause you to become hostile toward the Most High. We have one of the perfect examples there is in Numbers 13 and 14. If you study Exodus 23, we see clearly of Yah giving his word of how he will bless the children of Israel. How their women will not miscarry. How he'll bless their water and bless their food. And all they have to do is follow his regulations, obey his commands, obey his teachings. He'll make their enemies be at peace with them. Their enemies will be afraid of them because of him. And we see how they became so hostile toward the Most High when they were going to enter into the promised land. Because lack of trust, rebellion, complaining, grumbling, doing what you want, how you think, is considered to be hostile toward the Most High. The Most High appeared to Moses. He asked Moses, how long will they hold me in contempt? You see Aaron, you see Moses, you see Joshua, and you see Caleb trying to speak to them, and guess what? They're getting ready to stone them. They was discussing it. Their attitude, their mindset became hostile, and they wanted to produce hurt and death toward Moses. You walking outside of trust shows hostility toward the Most High. And your carnal mind cannot please him. You have to obey him. You got to get in your mind, first of all, what trust really is. Because we have, for some reason, we do not associate trust with disobedience. We think that trust only comes from believing the Most High to give us something. I trust him. He's going to heal my body. And that's good. But that's not the only way. I trust him because he's going to bless me with a new car, a new house, and that's good. I trust him because he's going to give me, I'm going to get the job. I trust him because I'm going to marry her, I'm going to marry him, they're going to love me. But that's good, but that's not it. Also, if he requires you to live right, to live holy, if he tells you a man should not live with a man, if he tells you do not steal, if he tells you do not murder, if he tells you do not commit adultery, if he tells you to honor the Sabbath, and you continue to do contrary to what he says, you are showing him a lack of trust. So when you say you trust the Most High, let's really examine that and ask ourselves that question seriously. Not saying that we don't make mistakes. I gotta think of something saying that. Not saying that we don't sin. Because at times, even as believers, we do sin on purpose. Because listen, everybody in this room, and everyone that's looking at me from YouTube or whatever, or Facebook or whatever, you have lied and you know you told a lie. Since you've been saved. You have stolen and you know you've stolen. Since you've been born again, you have committed adultery, you have committed fornication, you have not honored the Sabbath. We've all done these things, some of these things, since we've been born again. And we know that it was wrong before we did it. So let's not fake the funk, let's be real with ourselves. And I'm not saying you won't mess up. You may mess up. You can repent and turn from that. But when you turn from it, it don't mean you keep going back. It don't mean you keep going back. No, you stay turned from it. And you grow in your walk. And if you continue to keep going back, living that same way after you've been born again, then guess what? You may not be born again. And you may have that same mindset. And if you have that same mindset, according to Romans 8 and 7, it says, for the mind controlled by the old nature is hostile toward Yah because it does not submit itself to Yah's Torah. And the Torah, according to 1 John 3, it says, when it asks when it states about what is sin, it says, indeed, sin is violation of the Torah, of Yah's Torah. So we understand that sin is a violation of Yah's Torah. That sin is a violation, is a rebellion against the word of Yah. And we understand that, and we continue to sin, then we are on purpose now going against the word of Yah. And we make ourselves hostile. And I can't leave you being hostile. And I'm telling you, being aggressive, I'm being hostile toward you, the first thing you're going to do is get on the defense. Then you're going to protect yourself and guard yourself. And you're not going to allow me to violate you or to harm you. So what do you expect from the Most High? If your carnal mindset is continuously in a state of hostility, you're being hostile toward him. He responds to you. Verse 8 says, thus those who identify, who understand, who know, identify, who have recognition of, understanding of, those who identify with their own nature cannot please Yah. But you, listen to this, but you do not identify with your own nature. But the Spirit provides. The Spirit of Yah is living on the inside of you. For anyone who doesn't have the Spirit of the Messiah doesn't belong to him. Ask yourself that question. We all need to. Because we have an understanding in our mind. We think that having a Ruach HaKodesh is going to come to that ocean. And that's foolishness and hogwash, and that's not even scripture. Don't even line up with the word. When you read Acts 2, if you really read it and have understanding, they spoke in other tongues, they spoke in other languages. And if you keep it in context, when they came before Peter, because they accused all of them of being drunk, Peter stands up and says, we're not drunk as you suppose. But this is that which was promised through the prophet Joel. That in the latter days I will give my spirit on all flesh, and your sons and your daughters will do what? Prophesy. So what the people were doing was speaking out words that was being understood by those who heard. They were prophesying or giving an ecstatic speech. The same thing that happened 1,300 years earlier when Moshe began to speak in an ecstatic speech. And some of the men in the camp, before they made it to Moshe began to prophesy in the camp. So it's not a kind of old shape, but ha ha ha. But that's what it associated with. We're associated with a dance. I got my dance. But the Ruach HaKodesh, Yeshua says, it convicts the world of sin. It leads and guides into all truth. So if you are comfortable in sinning against the Most High, if you feel comfortable in doing what's wrong, and you have no conviction about what you're doing, and you're not trying to find out truth, then you may not have the Ruach HaKodesh. And according to Romans 8:9, if you do not have the Spirit, the Ruach of the Mashiach, then you are none of his. Let's read it again. Romans 8:9 says, but you do not identify with your old nature, but with the Spirit, provided the Spirit of Yah is living inside you. You don't have the old nature, or you don't identify with your old nature, but you now identify with the Spirit of Yah, provided if the Spirit of Yah is living on the inside of you. Right? Right. For anyone who doesn't have the Spirit of the Messiah doesn't belong to him. Verse 10 says, however, if the Messiah is in you, then on the one hand, the body is dead because of sin, but on the other hand, the Spirit is given life because Yah considers you righteous. And if the Spirit of the one who raised Yeshua from the dead is living in you, then the one who raised the Messiah, Yeshua, from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies through his Spirit living in you. So then, brothers, we don't owe a thing to our old natures that would require us to live according to our old nature. You don't owe a thing, provided the Mashiach is on the inside of you. You don't even have to identify with your old nature. Listen to this. Verse 13. For if you live according to your own nature, you will certainly die. But if by the Spirit you keep putting to death the practices of the body, you will live. So if you live according to your old nature, if you live according to your old mindset, what is your old nature? How you acted, what you did, how you responded, your habits, your character before the Messiah. But once you come in contact with the Messiah, once you have that relationship with the Messiah, now you no longer identify with your old nature because you're born again. Now he gives you the Ruach. Now you identify with the new nature. You no longer have to be a sinner. You no longer have to intentionally sin. You do not have to steal on purpose. You can say, well, I couldn't help it. You ain't got to kill. Man, he was talking about me. He smacked me. I just couldn't take it. Pow! You know. Now you can tell the truth. Even when you know you're going to get the spanking. Even when you know you're going to have to deal with the consequences. Still tell the truth. Now you have the ability by the Spirit of Yah to be obedient to his word. But if you continue to live according to your old nature, you die. Why? Because your old nature produced sin. Your old nature violates Torah. Your old nature is hostile toward the Most High. It can't even please the Most High because it don't even trust the Most High. And you don't owe a thing to your old nature. You no longer have to live like you were living. Yah is a deliverer. He can bring us out of anything that we deal with. Regardless, there is nothing too big for our Elohim. Jeremiah 32:27 says in the King James Version, I am the Yah, I am the Elohim of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? There is absolutely, positively, guaranteed nothing too hard for our Most High. Ain't that too hard for God? He can do anything. to Hebrews 13. He speak and men live. He speak, men die. He is the Most High Elohim. Y'all ready? I'm going to get into Hebrews 8, verse 1, because the whole thing is good. Hebrews 8, beginning at verse 1. The whole thing is good. It says, here is the whole point of what we have been saying. We do have just such a Kohen Gadol, a high priest, as having been described, and he does sit at the right hand of the Hagdulah, or at the right hand of the power, or at the right hand of the majesty. He does sit at the right hand of the majesty in heaven. Then there, our high priest, Yeshua HaMashiach, there he serves in the holy place, that is, in the true tent of meeting. The one erected not by human beings, but by Yahuwah. For every Kohen Gadol is appointed to offer both gifts and sacrifices. So this Kohen Gadol too has to have something he can offer. And what did he offer? What he offered himself. This high priest did right here. Yeshua HaMashiach. He's in heaven, in the power of the majesty, serving in the true tent of meeting on our behalf. And just like every high priest, see, in the earthly high priest, when he went behind the veil once a year, he had to take blood with him. And not only the blood for the people's sins, but he had to atone for his sins first. And he went in once a year, and his blood only purified the outward appearance. But our Mashiach, Yeshua, he went in once and for all. And his blood purified our consciousness from dead works. He cleansed us through and through. And it's once and for all. So now listen, he has something to offer. Now, if he was here on earth, he wouldn't be a priest at all, since there are already Kohanim offering the gifts required by the Torah. But what they are serving is only a copy. It's only a copy and shadow of the heavenly original. What they are serving is only a copy. They ain't even the real thing. They're down here serving the copy, doing something out of a ritual, whatever. He's in the real place. He done it for real. He didn't have to keep doing it. Amen. So now listen to this. Says, but what they are serving is only a copy and shadow of the heavenly original. For when Moses was about to erect the tent, Yah warned him, see to it that you make everything according to the pattern you were shown on the mountain. That's in Exodus 25. But you'll read that there. But now the work of Yeshua has been given to do. But now the work Yeshua has been given to do is far superior to theirs. Just as the covenant he meditates is better. For this covenant has been given as Torah on the base. Listen. For this covenant has been given as Torah on the basis of better promises. Indeed, if the first covenant had not been given, indeed, if the first covenant had not given ground for fault finding, there would have been no need for a second one. For Yah does find fault with the people when he says, see, the days are coming, says Yahuwah, when I will establish over the house of Israel and over the house of Yehudah a new covenant, or a far better covenant, or a renewed covenant. It would not be like the covenant which I made with their fathers on the day when I took them by the hand and led them forth out of the land of Egypt, because they, for their part, did not remain faithful to my covenant, so I, for my part, stopped concerning myself with them, says Yahuwah. So what does he mean when he says it would not be like the covenant he made in those days? Is it something different? No. The only difference is that that when he brought them out of the land of Egypt, he gave them covenants placed on stones. But here's the covenant, verse 10, in my Bible, some of y'all will say verse 9, but this is the covenant which I will make, which I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Yahuwah. I will put my Torah in their minds. And write it on their hearts. I will be their Elohim, and they will be my people. So this time, he's not going to put it on tablets of stone. He's going to put it on their mind. Have them thinking about it. Go put it on their heart. Go be all in their emotions and their feelings, all in their full being. It's going to be all over them. And then he says this, I will write my Torah in their minds and write it on their hearts, for I will be their Elohim, and they will be my people. None of them will teach his fellow citizens or his brother, saying, know Yahuwah. For all will know me, from the least of them to the greatest, because I will be merciful toward their wickedness and remember their sins no more. They will all know him. What is knowing him? Having eternal life. What is knowing him? Having a relationship. Yeshua said in John 17, let them know you, give them eternal life. And eternal life is this, to know you and the one whom you sent. So now, if you know the Most High, if you have the Ruach HaKodesh, you do not have to any longer live an unclean life. You don't owe anything to your old nature. So stop living in sin, which produces death, but begin to live right. You know you can live right, don't you? You know you can turn yourself around and do what Yah requires. It does not have to be a religion. I don't care how freaky you feel in your body. If you feel you got to go do it, don't do it. Talk to the man or woman as far as fornication is concerned. I'm trying to speak in your own terms that you use in these days. I don't care if you just feel wet between your legs or you got to shake it. Whatever it is, you do not have to give in to the sin that you can have self-control. I don't care how mad they made you, and you want to slap them upside the head with a brick. Don't pull the brick out. Don't slap them. I don't care how much you want to tell that lie that you did or didn't do something. Tell the truth. Under the 7, I don't care if they're going to give you double time and a half. They tell you, come on in. It's super overtime. No. You do not have to break covenant and dishonor yourself. I don't care what your mama and daddy say. How much you're mad at them. The word says if you curse your parents, then you die. The word says even if you attack your father and mother, you die. But you can live. You can no longer be rebellious, humble yourself, and allow righteousness to take place in you. Because Yah gives you the ability to do these things now. He gives you the ability now to show mercy and to love. You can love now. You can show mercy now. You can be obedient now. You can now walk in true faith. And you no longer have to encounter or deal with the sin. We have a great high priest, Yeshua HaMashiach, who we can go to our last verse. And we're going to pray again at the Hebrews 4. Since we have, we're going to go to 4 and 14. Hebrews 4 and 14 says this. Therefore, since we have a great Kohen Gadol, a great high priest, who has passed through to the highest heaven, Yeshua, the Son of Yah, let us hold firmly to what we acknowledge as true. For we do not have a co-equal, a high priest, unable to empathize with our weaknesses. Since in every respect he was tempted, he was what? Tempted, just as we are. Let me explain to you something. When the adversary brings temptation for you to sin, it's something that you do, or it's something he's trying to tempt you to do that you know is wrong. Temptation occurs to try to make you sin on purpose against the Most High. Not doing something that you really don't know is a sin. That's called sinning out of ignorance. You don't even know it's wrong. You're not tempted. You don't even know it's wrong. But when you do know it's wrong, we have perfect examples in the Bible. One of them is Adam and Eve. They heard the word. So when the adversary came to them and told them to eat from the tree, they knew it was wrong. And they tempted and they sinned anyway. But Yeshua, in Matthew 4 and in Luke 4, when the adversary came to him, he was tempted by the adversary. Matthew 4:1 says, again, he was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the adversary. The adversary came to him and said, if you are the son of Elohim, or if you are the son of God, turn these stones to bread. So he was tempted, but he didn't sin. So it says, for we do not have a high priest unable to empathize with our weaknesses, since in every respect he was tempted just as we are, the only difference being that he did not sin. You see that? Therefore, let us confidently, with confidence, approach the throne from which God gives grace, so that we may receive mercy and find grace in our time of need. So therefore, Yeshua, he didn't sin. He overcame. He walked forward and was able to overcome the temptation, right? So we can approach the throne now with confidence. Because now we have help. We have help now. Therefore, let us confidently approach the throne for which God gives grace, so that we may receive mercy and find grace in our time of need. You don't have to fall now. You stand firm. You be strong in the power of his might. You can now live a life preaching to him. Just give him his word. Ask him to show you. And then walk it out with the help of the Ruach HaKodesh. If you mess up, get up. Dust your knees off. Turn from it by actually repent, actually turn from it, and begin to continue to follow Yah. Don't wallow in it. Don't remain in it. Don't give in to your old nature. But turn. And you have the Ruach HaKodesh, the Spirit that helps you to do what needs to be done. Amen? God, we thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your loving counsel and your goodness. For you are good to us. And God, we're asking you to help us to live right. Help us not to sin on purpose, to mess up, to give it to our old nature. But help us to humble ourselves. To know now that we can know you. We can live a life pleasing to you. When you put your Torah on our minds, on our hearts, and you help us to live a life pleasing to you. You help us to know you. And we need that. We're thanking you for that. Help us to not give in to our lustful desires and live ways that the pagans live, or give in to our old nature that's hostile towards you. But help us, y'all, to walk in humility, self-denial, to walk in obedience towards your word. Y'all being grateful, to understand the Messiah's sacrifice, that we have him as a high priest who stands in the gap, who intercedes on our behalf, who prays for us, who gives us the ability to overcome. We thank you for those things, God. We thank you for that. Yeshua's name. Hallelujah. We'll get Brother Malachi to come do it and a blessing, and we're going to have announcements for next week. Well, next week we're going to Corbett, Mississippi. We're going to be at the Hampton Inn on Highway 72 in Corbett, Mississippi. We'll be doing a fellowship with Restoring the Branches Ministry that next Shabbat. So we will not be in this location, but we will be back in this location after that after next Shabbat. So please join us if you want to join us. You can contact us through Messenger or through email, and we'll respond back to you all just to make sure that if you want to be there, you can be there. So praise the Most High, we got to come to